Okay, hair's done, makeup's done, eyelashes are on. Time for the show. There she is. She looked at me like, well, where am I going to sit? Diamond is in the living room chair here, laying on my coat, which that's her new bed. She's not going to give it up. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I'm trying to let you see what I've got back here. Okay, there we go. Come here, Jane. Oh, what an intro. So, put myself together for you, which I do enjoy doing, and I do hope that you appreciate it. It takes quite a bit of time, and I don't really like the way I looked in my last video. I might delete it. So, my name is Sabrina. I am a shamanic witch. Welcome to my channel. And here I talk a lot about experiences I have as a psychic medium and my work with spirits and what the spirits tell me. And more recently, what Astarte has been showing me. And years ago, I had met a medium who channeled a message to me. I've said this before, but I want to say it again, that there was things that I couldn't comprehend at the time yet that were things of antiquity. This is what they were referring to. And things really just don't happen until it's time for them to happen. You don't figure things out until it's time for you to figure things out. Right, Jane? Come here, come here. You know, the mind just has to wait until it's ready. So it's going to take time, of course, for a lot of people to come across the videos on my channel as the years go by and they begin to open up and ask questions, such as the last short that I made where someone asked me, is this code for something? Like I just said in my recent video, I said that the moon was in Leo. Now, I might need to actually better title my videos. Right, so the next short that I made, I entitled it, Moon Transit, Moon in Virgo. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to hop on here tonight and say to you, and that is number one, welcome to my channel and welcome back, those of you who are coming back and are part of the Casting Cauldron crew. I've been doing this for 5 years. And I've been pretty diligent about it. My intro was a Venus in Virgo moment. That was done for a reason, okay? It's sometimes better to show people rather than just to tell them. And I'm trying to do that through shorts. I'm calling them Moon Transit Minutes. But for those who really want to hear a little bit more, want to have some elaboration, I make some slightly longer videos. Some are 10 minutes, some are 25 minutes. And I think that that's necessary and that's good. Now, my errors are your lessons as well. And as I've admitted, I have made some errors lately because I'm still transitioning from years and years of following Western astrology into sidereal astrology. Astarte is leading me into sidereal astrology, but it's been a very long process. So in that way, I wanted to clear up for you that the attributes that I talk about the sign, if I say the moon is in Leo and it's not, I'm 2 days ahead or 2 days behind, then what I'm describing, the attributes, is correct. I just may not be stating the correct transit of the moon because I'm having to unlearn these old habits. So we are still currently under a Leo moon, and it is transiting into Virgo on the 15th. And I got that from a Vedic astrologer, a man here on YouTube, who actually does the Vedic astrology moon transits. And I've mentioned that previously. I mean, if you want to really follow the true astrology, what I've learned is the same thing that Joni Patry has said, and I've been following her, and that is she no longer looks at both the Western and the sidereal. And I'm already seeing where I just don't need to refer to the Western astrology anymore, because what overlaps on my chart from the Western to the sidereal it's on my sidereal. But the things that are missing from my Western that are not correct really, right, they're on my sidereal. So I've thrown away my Western astrology natal chart because I know it so well. And what I've discovered is I do not have Venus in Virgo. I have Venus on the cusp. It is in Leo. And that has everything to do with health and beauty and, being in the beauty industry. And there's other factors involved, of course, but Venus is about aesthetics. And this has to do about expression. So how do I express myself? Well, one of the ways is through, the love of makeup and hair. And I was thinking about doing avant-garde makeup when I was a teenager, but I was also in dramatic arts, and that's kind of sort of a part of that as well. And I still do have a lot of planets in Leo. I just have a few different ones. Venus is in Leo, not in Virgo. My North Node is in Libra, and I do have something in Sagittarius. If you've been following me, I couldn't figure out why Astarte visited me in a dream when the moon was transiting in Sagittarius. Now I know. So the spirits, when you work with them, they have to work with your natal chart. They cannot override your natal chart. The only thing I've heard of that can is a star energy, and that is where you would have to engrave a precious gem or a precious metal at a certain hour in order for that star energy to help you. Star energy is very powerful. But spirits have to work with your chart. There's certain things they cannot override. There's certain things that they will work with, right? Because you have you have Saturn in Sagittarius, Sabrina, so I'm going to wait until the moon is transiting in Sagittarius. I'll come and visit you, and that will be a clue. And so I've had other clues in my life through dreams that were trying to tell me, you're just as much a fish as your son, who is a Pisces. We were both swimming underwater. I thought we were going to drown, and I said, we can breathe underwater. And when I wrote the dream out, I thought, I guess I created gills. You can change the dream. But this was my subconscious mind, even back then, trying to tell me, you're rising as Pisces. You're just as much a fish as your son, who is a Pisces. So we are also currently still under an Aquarius energy, and it will be going into Pisces on March the 15th. I will insert a little screenshot that I've made to look that up. And so that is another thing, once again, where I have stated all of the characteristics and the attributes of the sign Pisces, even though we're not in Pisces yet. I do have video on Dark Moon in Aquarius, so that's already made. And I believe I've already made one on Pisces, so I'm not going to be making another one on Pisces. That's coming up March 15th. So I encourage you to really consider looking at the true astrology, the Vedic astrology, the sidereal astrology, in order to get a correct chart. And if you're working with spirits, they're going to give you clues. They're going to do things that will try to show you, I could only come to you at this time under this moon transit, because you have, right, the window of opportunity lets me, based on your birth chart, the contract that you've made with the Creator before you were born, to have this. And so, yeah, this is just another wonderful blessing. I still don't quite understand everything about the dark moon. For some reason, I'm hearing that it's just associated with Lilith. I don't know. For now, I'm just going to go by the fact that that's when we are going to be really knowing that the next constellation is coming in. That much I know for sure. Okay, so and I also know that my rising is Pisces. And I have Saturn not in Capricorn, but in Sagittarius. And that is what was missing from my Western chart. Okay, also, like I mentioned about a month ago, I'm going to be working more, and I have been. So I've been doing this now for 5 years. And as you can see, I'm finally just now starting to grow. I've just had to figure out how to use shorts. And then I guess I'll be attracting some people who will or will not be interested in moon transits through what I'm talking about in the shorts. I have gained 4 new subscribers, so I'm over 400. Yay! Yeah, I've studied and practiced and done a great many things. Now, the other thing is that your rising is going to have a ruling planet. And I thought that my rising was Aries and my ruling planet was Mars, and that's where I got all my strength, but that's not it. Pisces is resilient, and this can relieve you of burdens and make you feel lighter and freer and have more energy. However, I have Mars in Leo, and so this is where I like to push the button and be on, in front of the camera. But it's also kind of a feeling of regalness, or someone feels like they need to look nice. And they have a sense of duty also, and this could be to whatever their job is. I feel very strongly that this placement, because my friend has it as well, Mars in Leo is someone who feels a strong duty to whatever the life, city, village, people and duties are of their life, and they just want to continue to do that. These people like to be working. This is the soldier, okay? This is what came to my mind. This is the soldier who dies in battle. They don't generally go off and retire. Most of the movies that I've ever seen, right? Soldiers are bored until it's time for a battle, right? And it's not that I want to go out and fight battles, but I want to continue to work and be productive. And I've said to my friend, I want to die with my boots on. And she said, me too. That is a Mars in Leo attribute and characteristic. And I don't know that I've ever heard anyone describe that here on YouTube yet, any astrologer yet. This is what I know, and this is what I feel. This is who I am, and my friend has said the same thing, and she also has Mars in Leo. So, I like to show rather than tell, and these are the things that I see and feel. And yeah, I don't plan on retiring. I've said to people before, what am I going to do? Sit around, and go play golf all day. Now, I do my fair share of sitting around. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Cancer. I do my fair share of enjoying my semi-retirement, but I'm usually thinking. I'm usually thinking about what it is I'm going to do, what am I going to do next, and usually what I'm going to talk about. However, over this past month, I've been taking my foot off of the gas as far as thinking about videos to make several times a week. I was not feeling well, and I had to go to work anyway, so I went to work 4 days a week, not feeling well, taking the 5th day off, and then again 4 days, and then a couple days after that. And so it's taken me over a month and a half to really get better. And I probably will not be making as many videos. It's been 5 years now. I'm going to be making more shorts, like I've said, and I'm going to be probably making videos once a week. I've taken myself out roller skating. I've been very diligent and disciplined about coming up with things to get on here and talk about. And like I said, even my errors are your lessons. And I hope that you will take it upon yourself to further learn. You can be self-taught. You can follow people on YouTube. But I recommend Joni Petrie and whatever other sidereal astrologists there are, because I'm convinced that is the true astrology. Get that chart done. And if you need someone to interpret it, would probably be a psychic medium who's worked a lot with the planets and the moon for years, that can really help you understand how these energies are working. I have been taking a free 8-day course that's been offered by a man that I found, his master class. It's just the introductory, and there are a few things that I've learned. There's some terminology that he has added to the houses that I didn't really ever write down. For example, the 5th house I know is creativity and fun, children and speculation, but it's also self-expression. So I'm very grateful to this man who kept sending me these videos, and I watched 2 in the morning sitting on the sofa. So I'm not just sitting on the sofa, I am doing things, and I'm learning. So that's Jupiter for you. So Jupiter is my ruling planet. Your ruling planet, which will go along with whatever your rising ascendant is, which is where the constellation was up above when the sun was coming up in the east when you were born. And then that is also going to be your ruling planet, and that planet is going to be the ruler of your entire chart. It's going to be the overseer, kind of like the moon, filtering and overseeing. So I know what Jupiter is for me, for sure. And sometimes I say to Jupiter, look, I don't want to pay for any more stuff, I've still got some education I have to pay for, and I think I've done all the learning that I want to do. And look what's happening now. I have to know the truth. And I'd had a dream that came to me after the little whatever it was flew over my bedroom twice, that I would be able to, you're going to have a second chance to live your life over again, this time as yourself, free of false pretenses. So for me, thinking that I had a rising in Aries was not true. It was false. Not acknowledging that, the Pisces, the dreamer, the astral traveler, and the shaman. So there is this dark moon in Arachne, which has to do with the galactic center. That's the 13th sign is what they call it. It has to do with just something that's very ancient that they discovered back in ancient Babylonia. And when I get this book, Decoding the Night Sky, I can read more about that. But that is where they come up with this dark weaver aspect. The Greeks and the Romans came up with that. This is the place they designate as the shaman, if you see that in the chart. So there's certain things that you can look at in the chart, like looking at tarot and knowing how to read tarot well, that you just go, oh, I know what that means, right? 2 aces, change with job or home. Oh, this person has that in the 13th sign or the galactic center. Shaman, that will be a true shaman. Now, I don't know where to look for that. There's other things in the chart that you have to insert into the program in order to show those things. But I've already figured out through my Western astrology with Jupiter and Pluto and Neptune, those positions were pretty much the same as in my sidereal, slightly different, but still indicate the same things. And so, it's just, when you're on the path of self-knowledge and you come to this point, it's like, okay, this is just something I have to spend my time on to find out really what is what. Like I said, why Astarte came to me when the moon was in a Sagittarius. So yeah, if you work with spirits, this might be a helpful thing to know. So I had this symbol of Jupiter up all the time for years because I just felt it was the great benefic. But now it has a whole new meaning for me, and I include it in everything. I have the talisman back there. Today is a Jupiter day. It's snowing again. Every time I think we're going to have a last snow. Or, I don't know, we're having another snow. So anyway, yeah, even my short where I said moon in Virgo, what I said still applies. When the moon is going to transit in Virgo, which is going to be on the 15th, you'll probably feel like getting a little workstation, you know, tidying up, cleaning up, getting organized, and maybe sitting down and doing your taxes. That's Virgo energy. So that is basically what I wanted to say. I am continuing to, I will continue to talk about what I know and whatever else it is that I am learning about. And unless I know, have taken the time and I'm able to take the time to find out for sure where the moon is actually transiting, I'm just not going to state it. I think it's more important for us to really know that you will probably be surprised to find out certain things are not where you thought they were if you've had your Western tropical astrology natal chart done. And then go and have your sidereal chart done. Your natal sidereal chart, where, you know, all the planets and everything is or was at the moment that you were born. There's going to be a few things on there that are different. And at first you'll go, wait, what? Because all these years I'm putting this and this together. But then you'll go, oh, that makes sense. And I mean, if you're on this path, whether you're Wicca or Rosicrucian, or you know, shamanism, earth-based spirituality, left-hand path, whatever it is, the spirits are working with your natal chart and they're trying to tell you things. They're having to use certain times as the window of opportunity to really come and to help you. And there's certain things they cannot do that you are destined to actually go through that are in your chart. Like I said, the only thing that I know of that could possibly override certain things would be stellar magic. And the one time that I've done that, I worked with that to make sure that my home sold. But, you know, Jupiter is also a lucky planet. And so this is something that has always been sort of put the odds in my favor, even if it is at the last minute. So, yeah, that's some of the things that Jupiter represents. So you need to know what your rising really is, what the ruling planet is for that sign, and that will be the ruling planet for your entire chart. I think that's all I have to say for this video right now, and I think I'll make another one about the dream I had. Take care. Talk to you later.